Hey guys, meteorologist Doug Hetty. I hope you are having a great Wednesday so far. Of course, hump day. We are cruising right on through the work week. It got hot once again for us today. Temperatures, they made it, well, so far, we made it into the mid 90s, and I think most of us will go into the upper 90s later on. Wasn't going to make it, guys. Was not going to make it. I'm staring at lights, and they make me sneeze. All right, so what we're going to do today. We're going to do a weather question. Of course, this is a Weather 2020 video. I'll be at KOAM News tonight, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And then we're going to look at thunderstorm chances, the heat, which is going to be in as we go through the next few days. And of course, we're going to do a little bit of long-range forecasting as well. I want to give a huge shout out to my boy Superior Roofing and Construction, a 4-state premier roofing contractor. If you want them to check out your roof, give them a call. Number's right there on your screen. Ask for Cole, Evan, or Carlos, and they will get you hooked up with your roof. All right, let's dig into it. All right, so weather question for us today. The heat is returning, of course. We had a cold front last Wednesday, and it actually felt pretty good for about a week, and then, of course, the heat has returned. So will we stay above normal? Because our average high is about 91, and then it starts to drop later on this month. Will we stay above normal as we go through into the first half of September? And the answer to that is yes and no. Let's pull out the global predictor. Of course, this is the cycling weather pattern that Gary Lezak and I have developed over the past, 30 years or so. So I put it on Joplin. If you want to sign up for this, $5.99 a month, weather2020.com global predictor. Let's go into September. So you see the blue days. So we know this week, the rest of this week is going to be hot. Next week is going to be hot. Then the last week of August is going to start hot and then start to trail off as we get into the beginning of September. So this is Labor Day weekend, the first into the second, so cooler than average temperatures. Now, when you see the more red days, that's above average temperature. So the first week, we do get to cool down. It's the middle of the month that gets hot again in September, so that's going to be right when you think fall's coming, and of course, no, it's not coming back into the 90s, and then we cool down again once we get into the last half of the month. First week, plenty of chances for rain. The third week, plenty of chances for rain. Besides that, though, we stay dry. And, of course, the new pattern is starting to evolve. It's still only about 3% new and about 97% old, but we're going to see that switch as we go through the next 2 months. All right, hotspot for today, strong severe thunderstorms from Salina, Manhattan, Topeka, Lawrence, Kansas City, down to Emporia, and then including St. Joe up toward Rulo, Nebraska, Brad Ganaway land, all the way up to Omaha, and then also Des Moines. Some of those storms are going to produce some large hail and possibly tornadoes as we get into the afternoon. Then that shifts south and east as we go into tomorrow. If we look right now, you can see thunderstorms across parts of Iowa into eastern Missouri. Let's go ahead and zoom in. You can see a cluster of storms southeastern parts of Missouri, but everybody else is looking pretty good. So we're going to see these storms continuing to dive southeast into Cape Girardeau as we go through the next hour or two. But we're going to watch for thunderstorm development out here across northeastern Kansas into northwestern parts of Missouri. Big dome of high pressure in charge. You can see the clockwise swirl. So this is Arkansas into Louisiana. So we get these waves off the Rockies, and then they rotate through. And that's why we are getting these bands of hit and miss thunderstorms. Heat definitely returning. 96 this afternoon in Joplin, 98 in Tulsa, 98 in Oklahoma City. But of course, the heat indices are much worse. Watch the thunderstorms explode. So let's go to 10 p.m. this evening. Let me zoom in a little bit. And you can see thunderstorms really from Wichita back through northeastern parts of Kansas. So we're going to have to watch that all the way into southeastern Iowa and then back or southeastern parts of Nebraska, northwestern Missouri. So let's go through the night. Strong to severe thunderstorms rolling through Iowa, trailing back into Kansas City. So by 1 or 2 a.m., and even a few storms will get into southeastern Kansas. These storms continue to push east. So by morning, we're looking at a cluster of storms really from, let's say, Nevada, Stockton Lake, Harrisonville, maybe as far south as Joplin by tomorrow morning. So some hit and miss storms. Let me zoom back out and we'll continue to go through time for you on your Thursday. As we get into the afternoon, there's a front draped across southeastern Missouri. back towards Springfield. So these storms, so here's 5 p.m. tomorrow. These storms that erupt are going to be strong to severe. Main threat is going to be gusty winds, but if we get 1 or 2 supercells, we do have a tornado threat. These extend back to Springfield, back to Joplin, into southeastern parts of Kansas, and even northeastern parts of Oklahoma. So let's continue to watch through tomorrow evening. Thunderstorms press southeast. So here's by 9 p.m. from Branson to West Plains over into southeastern Missouri, and then also trailing back from Tulsa to Oklahoma City. Let's continue through the night. These storms kind of fizzle apart. So let me zoom back out. And we're going to go in a little bit deeper. All right, and then let's go into Friday. Friday, again, we're going to be into the mid-90s for highs, but now we're going to watch this cluster of storms trying to get going late afternoon and evening, because this will push into southeastern Kansas, southwestern Missouri as we get into Friday evening and Friday night. I think this model is a little bit quick, so I think it's going to be a little after this, probably 7, 8 p.m. before it gets into Joplin and Springfield. But some of these could be strong to severe. These push east, scattered thunderstorms Friday night, and then into Saturday morning, but then I think Saturday afternoon is shaping up pretty good. All right, rainfall potential as we go through the next several days. So we're going to stop this on Saturday evening. You can see very scattered storms, but the areas that have the best chance for rain, Kansas City, Columbia, St. Louis, down to Springfield, West Plains, and Joplin. So we need those areas to pick up some rain. All right, heat indices. Look at this afternoon. It feels like 108 in Kansas City, 105 in Wichita, 107 in Dallas. And they're still going to be up there again tomorrow. Heat index about 107 in Joplin, 109 in Fort Smith. Oklahoma City about 105, about 107 in Dallas. And then even on Saturday, they're going to be up there, but not as bad. They're going to be a little bit worse once you get through Oklahoma and Arkansas, but Kansas and also Missouri start to at least get a little bit of relief from the heat. Let's look at the weekend. So after overnight storms Friday night, Saturday looks good. So if you're heading to some of the area lakes, anywhere from Smithville, Stockton, Lake of the Ozarks, Table Rock, Bull Shoals, Ten Killer, Grand Lake, any of those lakes, Broken Bow, it looks pretty good. As we go through Saturday night into Sunday morning, some thunderstorms eastern parts of Kansas. So we are going to have hit and miss storms as we go into Sunday night and then Monday morning. Let's go into Monday. Still some hit and miss storms, but look at the temperatures. A lot of us upper 80s to lower 90s. So we do get some relief from the extreme heat, but I do think it's slowly going to heat up again as we go through next week. So back into the 90s on Tuesday. And once we get into Wednesday, well into the 90s. So that is stuff that we're going to have to keep our eyes on as we go through the next couple, let's say, next couple weeks or so. I accidentally pulled that up, so I'm going to go back here, because you guys don't need to look at our snow stats from last year, of course. But, of course, I'll keep you guys updated. Again, some of those storms tomorrow could be strong to severe, so we need to keep our eyes on that. I'll give you another video tomorrow. We'll talk more in depth on what's going to happen with those showers and thunderstorms. But long range, forecast-wise, stays hot the next 2 weeks, but we get some relief at the very end of August and the first week of September. All right, guys, any questions, comments, leave it in the comment section below, and we'll chat soon.